Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and this video will be chock full of interesting stuff. Let me just start by mentioning this. The XRP ledger is taking a major step forward in just dominating the latest crypto trend of NFTs, non-fungible tokens. The XRP ledger is perfectly suited for this particular use case. There's already a built-in decentralized exchange, but some of the functionality that you'd want wasn't there from day one, and that's being being addressed now, resulting in this new piece written by Nick Bougalis, who runs a programming team. I believe it's a C++ team over at Ripple, and this piece was titled "Ripple X Releases XLS20 Dev Network," which is an NFT devnet. Ripple X, of course, is, they used to be known as Spring, which was the development arm of Ripple effectively, and it's been rebranded as Ripple X. And so they've been working on this. And it's at a point where it's functionally used, but in order for this to be implemented, the network's going to have to approve that, so I'll talk about that as well. But it's right now, where's all the NFT action happening? There's so much happening on the Ethereum blockchain, and my gosh, it's just the gas fees are outrageous. There are serious scalability issues, and I don't know if they're going to be overcome. If they are, great, super duper. Right now, there's not a clear solution in sight. And so I wanted to share with you some thoughts. Before I go through the specifics of this, I want to share with you some thoughts from David Schwartz, who, of course, is Ripple CTO and co-creator of the XRP Ledger, because towards the end of last year, he had a lot to say about the XRP Ledger and NFTs, and I thought it would be perfect segue to just cover some of that first and then get into this. But the XRP Ledger, it's taken a major step forward, effectively. And this will help. It's just one more thing that will help to ensure the long-term viability of the XRP ledger and XRP itself, which of course is the native digital asset. I don't think XRP is going to be going away as long as people are functionally using the XRP ledger for multiple use cases. And if XRP is just sitting right there, I mean, talk about integration. It's literally sitting right there on the freaking blockchain. This is good. All of this is very good. Which is why this particular tweet from Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong is ridiculous to me. There is a tweet, it's on your screen right now, from February 23rd, 2015. And I wasn't sure if this is real at first, but I actually did end up verifying this is a real tweet. And I got it from an individual on Twitter who calls himself Grubles. And so I retweeted it, and I shared the screen grab. And it reads as follows. And again, this is from 2015, so 7 years ago, just about. Ripple, Stellar, and altcoins are all a distraction. Bitcoin is way too far ahead. We should be focused on Bitcoin and sidechains. And it's just you read that, it's audible sigh, and then followed by, did you hear that? That's the face palm, that little slap sound. That was me doing an actual face palm right now, because this tweet has aged like a fine milk. And so here he is running a cryptocurrency exchange, and it's you make money from the buying and selling of assets. Maybe this goes to show why they went years and years and years for most of, in fact, the last market cycle in 2017, only listing 3 assets. And so there was Ethereum that got on there, and then the other one was Litecoin. But Charlie Lee, who created Litecoin, he was working at Coinbase when it was launched in there. So there's the reason it got some favoritism there. Really, he's just been a Bitcoin maxi, or at least he was back then. Who knows? It's been 7 years. Maybe his opinion has changed, but now his platform is making money on a ton of different cryptocurrencies. So even if he's still a Bitcoin maxi, as long as he can make his money. But this is completely ridiculous. The idea that there would be one true coin to rule them all. Well, fast forward 7 years, and what's actually happening? Is anybody using Bitcoin for NFTs? I'm sorry, is this whole thing that we're going to be talking about here with the XRP ledger being utilized for NFTs, is that a distraction, Brian Armstrong? Is that a distraction? And so here's how I approach it, since I didn't know for sure if this was a real tweet, because people fake stuff on the internet, and I'm a skeptic to start. I don't just retweet stuff unless something of consequence like this, unless I verified it for myself. So I put out a tweet before I verified it, and I wrote, "Hey, Brian Armstrong," and I tagged him. "Was this a real tweet from you? If so, why did you delete it? I did an advanced search on Twitter, and this tweet is not there." And I did that for real. I checked, and it was not in existence. So I was like, well, that means either he deleted it or this thing's fake. Let me take a sip of water. And then I wrote, If it was a real tweet, do you still believe that Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that people should focus on? And so what I ended up doing, because I was initially having trouble finding it, is I literally typed in his entire tweet into the Google search bar verbatim, and it popped right up. Like 10 articles popped up, including this thread. There's also this. This is a thread on Reddit 7 years ago where people are just talking about it. Here's one of the articles from Finance and Magnates titled, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, we should focus more on Bitcoin and sidechains, less on altcoins. Specifically citing Ripple. And back then, people were really interchangeably using Ripple and XRP as if they were the same thing. He meant XRP, he said Ripple, obviously. Can you imagine having this closed-minded point of view, one coin to rule them all? And this guy is running the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States now. Like, what? It's regrettable. Yeah, you hate to see it. But the XRP ledger, despite what he thinks, you're not going to stop real-world adoption, and different cryptocurrencies will be used for different things. They have different technical attributes. Different entities and people in various geographic regions will have incentives non-tech related to adopt various coins. There's all sorts of reasons that humans will choose different things, humans being humans, right? It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all. And so it's good to see all of this adoption. And I don't want to read this article, but it's worth reminding you here. This is from September 29th of last year. Calling all creators. Ripple launches $250 million creator fund. And this was about non-fungible tokens specifically. So Ripple's heavily getting in on this. And then there was this article from Cointelegraph. This is from November. And it's titled, Over Time, We Will See the NFT Market Broaden, says Ripple CTO David Schwartz. So I want to share with you some of David Schwartz's specific thoughts on this, including the XRP ledger and NFTs, and then I'm going to share with you the latest news, so I want to do it sequentially so that it makes the most sense. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, have been dominating the crypto market this year, with sales topping over $2.5 billion during the first half of 2021. It shouldn't come as a surprise that both the crypto community and mainstream creators are launching NFTs in hopes of driving revenue and engagement. The rise of the metaverse has also pushed the adoption of NFTs, demonstrating the value of non-fungibles for major brands and social media platforms alike. While NFT sales soar, the Ethereum blockchain continues to rule the space. Pause. Probably not for long. Probably not for long. If I could just add in a little commentary there, and I can because it's my channel, damn it, I do what I won't. Anyway, the piece continues though. For instance, a recent report from Cointelegraph Research found that Ethereum represented at least 97% of every NFT market sector, which includes games, collectibles, and marketplaces. It's also interesting to point out that blockchain analytics firm Moonstream found that around 17% of addresses control more than 80% of all NFTs on Ethereum, demonstrating the vast inequality that still exists in the NFT market. Although this is the case, it's important to note that non-fungible tokens are still a very new and early concept. Even though Ethereum is currently dominating the market, there are significant competitors. Yeah, let me just ask, is anybody out there listening, when you need to search the internet for something, for some information, do you ever ask Jeeves for that information? Anybody asking Jeeves for that? No? Anybody? No? Okay, I didn't think so. Piece continues. For example, blockchain payments firm Ripple recently announced an investment in the NFT marketplace Mintable, which would allow the platform to integrate with the XRP ledger to enable creators to securely and efficiently sell their NFTs. And in addition, in September this year, Ripple launched a $250 million creators fund to foster innovation in tokenization, specifically focused on non-fungible tokens. Given Ripple's recent involvement in the NFT space, Cointelegraph spoke to David Schwartz, who is Ripple's chief technology officer and co-creator of the XRP ledger, during NFT NYC, to learn more about the company's growing interest in non-fungible tokens. And so here's a question from Cointelegraph, and you guys are going to love this stuff here, because it really gets to it. It talks about Ethereum, talks about the XRP ledger, and NFTs. And so Cointelegraph, thanks for joining me, David. First off, what did you discuss during your talk at NFT NYC? David Schwartz. My talk at NFT NYC was mostly about carbon-neutral NFTs with the XRP ledger and solving the energy consumption problem. Obviously, we aren't going to solve climate change in the blockchain space, but the least we can do is not make it a lot worse. It's not a technical problem. We know how to not consume that much energy. It's just a matter of convincing people to adopt the technologies that are more climate friendly. Yeah, and so that's always been interesting to me, given that technology does exist to where this is not a problem, regardless of what you think about any sort of climate issue. Even just the narrative, even if you don't give a damn about it, do you want that to be something that's weighing you down, even just from a narrative perspective? Because I sure as hell wouldn't. And then Cointelegraph asked the following. Ripple recently proposed a standard that will let people more seamlessly create NFTs on the XRP ledger. Can you discuss that in detail? And David Schwartz said the following. We were a little late to the party, but not too late. If NFTs are successful, then we are still early. We initially started to look at how people wanted to use NFTs and realized that a lot of the challenges people were facing were due to the technology being very primitive. When someone has a good idea with the right tooling and the right team, sometimes they just need more money to scale. We can help them overcome this to prove the technology will work the way they want it to. And then Cointelegraph asked, you also mentioned that the XRP ledger is energy efficient. Could you explain why this is the case? To which, that's an easy one to knock out of the park. David Schwartz said, yes, the reason why proof of work systems like Bitcoin and Ethereum consume energy is that they are specifically designed to create artificial scarcity. You'd want artificial scarcity if you were trying to profit from something that has to be scarce. You also need artificial scarcity for something to be valuable. And you need to convince customers that the scarcity is not artificial. So proof of work creates artificial scarcity by using something scarce, which is energy. When energy is purely used to create artificial scarcity, though, it drives up cost. The only reason you'd want to do this is if you are getting a cut of the money. Only the people getting those fees are promoting that technology. Yeah, let me just pause. That's why David Schwartz has always been hitting the nail on the head when he said, the best incentive is no incentive. Who the hell wants high fees? But there's incentive to do that within the ecosystem of Bitcoin, for example, with the nature of proof of work just being what it is, and miners. Piece continues. David Schwartz said, in the XRP ledger, no one gets transaction fees, so no one wants high fees. The fee literally covers the cost of processing the transaction. The fact is that the XRP ledger works just as well without artificial scarcity. Cointelegraph. Are there any other benefits of using the XRP ledger for NFTs versus Ethereum? And this is fun. Check this out. This is what David Schwartz said. Yes, one of them is the scalability, or the number of transactions per second. There are things you can do on Ethereum, though, that you can't do on the XRP ledger. Let me just pause. Again, this is not a one-size-fits-all universe. There will be multiple coins solving different problems. Interesting, though, just having the base technology of XRP, and I've talked about this in other videos, you can have side chains that can do pretty much just about anything. So I don't want to get into that further in this video, but I just wanted to mention it. Anyway, David Schwartz continues. That's why a lot of DeFi work today is happening on Ethereum. You can do almost anything you can envision, like things with loans or TradeFi or mortgages and staking. We also have a decentralized exchange, and you can issue new tokens. Payments are cheap and fast, so to some extent, it's a fundamental engineering trade-off. If you want to do everything, then you can't be very good at anything. The XRP ledger has a list of things it does really well. If one of those are the things you need, that's great. But if one isn't what you need, then you need to move to something more general. Part of Ethereum's low transaction speed and cost is due to the fact that you can build more flexible technologies on the blockchain. Most people who build on the XRP ledger are doing complex things, but for technical reasons, they don't need these to be right on the ledger. We don't have those capabilities on the XRP ledger today, but you can mint NFTs. And that's what we're going to get to. I'm about to hop into it. Don't worry, folks. But yeah, so again, he said, we don't have those capabilities on the XRP ledger today, but you can mint NFTs. The XRP ledger also has a decentralized exchange, and you can issue new tokens. Payments are cheap and fast, so to some extent, it's a fundamental engineering trade-off. And if, then they cite this quote here, if you want to do everything, then you can't be very good at anything. The XRP ledger has a list of things it does really well. If one of those things is what you need, that's great. But if one isn't what you need, then you need to move something more general. So I think it was worth repeating. It's very true. Again, it goes back to this idea, not a one-size-fits-all universe. And then he said, part of Ethereum's low transaction speed and cost is due to the fact that you can build more flexible technologies on the blockchain. Most people who build on the XRP ledger are doing complex things, but for technical reasons, they don't need these to be right on the ledger. And then Cointelegraph said, what are the best use cases for someone wanting to mint an NFT on the XRP ledger? And David said, today the use cases are mainly collectibles. On the XRP ledger, the cost is a lot lower, so if you are building an NFT on Ethereum, it would have to be worth at least $500, and even then the fees would be close to $100. Folks, does that sound like a real-world solution for NFTs? This is not sustainable, so either Ethereum is going to figure this out, or all of this activity, because Ethereum is dominant, all of it's going to go somewhere else. And the XRP ledger absolutely can handle this. So just think about that. And then he said, the fees are much less on the XRP ledger, and that allows for a broader range of use cases. I think most of the use cases today are collectibles, broadly speaking, like works of art, things that connect to digital art, things that connect to musicians. But I think over time, we will see the NFT market broaden. And then that brings us to this. RippleX releases XLS20 Dev Network, NFT DevNet. In May, RippleX invited the developer community to provide feedback on our proposal to enhance NFT support on the XRP ledger. We believe crypto and blockchain are powerful levelers in unlocking access and equity for everyone. The rapid rise and growth of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, is key to that vision. On track, Pete, come here, come here. I think she heard something. I don't know what can you hear her growling? It's okay, Pee-wee. It's okay. I've got her. Sometimes she hears something outside and then she just gives a little roof. She doesn't. That's only like the second time she's ever done that. So she's in my lap now. It's okay, Peeve. That's my. Sorry for those of you that don't know. Peeve is my now 7-year-old terrier mix. She's a sweet little doggy. She's usually very quiet. Anyway, we got her. Anyway, so on track to pass $17 billion in global sales by the end of this year. It's clear that NFTs are here to stay, with many in the industry already building toward a tokenized future that allows new business models to prosper and people to engage more deeply with the communities and things they care about most. Today, the NFT DevNet is available, making it possible for all developers to learn about and experiment with the native NFT capabilities introduced with XLS20D. Developers are welcome to start building apps and tokenization use cases, as well as visit the technical tutorial page to get started. And so I don't want to go through read this whole thing, but it's basically, it's set up, it's functioning as if it were ready to go. In order for this thing to actually be approved, though, validators on the network would have to prove it, so that requires 80% approval after a vote, and that has to be sustained for 2 weeks in order for it to get passed. But presumably this is not something that the community would want to throw away. And also, it's worth noting that they do have a focus on making sure that we don't just slam the XRP ledger from a technical perspective in terms of scaling. So they're taking great care to make sure that this is not something that is going to result in the XRP ledger getting bogged down, because you may recall at the beginning of December, there were some issues which I've covered, not getting into it in this video, but they're very cognizant of this and would like to prevent that. And so there you go. Brian Armstrong said we should have just focused on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin can't do stuff. And so here we are 7 years after that tweet, even after he said, again, don't focus on XRP, don't focus on Stellar and altcoins. Bitcoin's way too far ahead. We should just be focused on Bitcoin and sidechains. Again, that tweet has aged like a fine milk. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.